Hey Blue Table fans, John here, and we're here for another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. You know you wanted it. Tara's here, she'll be my opponent. It's kind of like Teach Tara Fantasy Round 3 Bat Rep Edition. So
it's not your usual bat rep.
Not your usual bat rep. Pretty much just laid back, trying to teach as much as possible. So, like I said, Tara's third time with fantasy. So we will go ahead and take a look at the 1500 point armies we'll be playing. Alright, so here's 1500 points of Ogres, what I'll be playing. So I've got a Bruiser, Battle Standard Bearer. I've got a Slaughtermaster, level 4 Wizard. I've got a unit of 9 Ogres, full command. A unit of 8 Ogres with full command. And then a unit of 4 Mournfangs with full command. Alright, and here's the High Elf army that Tara will be controlling. This is actually the Studio High Elves that will be on the web store starting July 15th, because we're in July now already. July 15th, they'll be going up on the web store, so you can check the liner notes for details on that. And so this is actually just a small part of a bigger army here. There's the rest of it. So what Tara will be using today is, for her core, she has 2 units of 10 Illyrian Reavers, which is actually the only core in this army. So if you want to play this army, you're taking Illyrian Reavers. Or, commissioning more stuff to be added to it, which is definitely an option. So she's got an Archmage, level 4, a Noble, Battle Standard Bearer, 28 Phoenix Guard, then an Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, which is like the repeater bolt thrower, and the Lothern Sky Cutter with the Eagle Eye Bolt Thrower on that, and that is 1500 points of teal Studio High Elves. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
No, I think it's awesome.
Tara thinks it's awesome.
I do. I like teal almost as much as Sean.
There you go.
Yeah.
So actually, we'll give you a tour of what else is in the army. There's another 5 Illyrian Reavers to make 30 total. There's some of these, I think they're Shadow Hunters? Shadow something? Maybe? I don't know. There's enough, 2 more Phoenix Guard to make the 30. You've got this awesome Flame Spire Phoenix. Second Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. 21 Sword Masters. And then another Mage, another Mage character here. And another guy here that could be a Prince or a Noble. So that is the Studio High Elves, but this will be the portion that Tara plays today. So let's take a look at the battlefield we got. We got the Overgrown Forest set. It's pretty open for the most part. Kind of denser on the edges where a little less is going to be going on. It's going to be pretty center focused, mostly because of Tara's lack of experience. Yeah, lack of expertise. We'll go with that.
Sounds better.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It sounds much better. So we'll do the typical blue table painting house rule of if your unit is touching terrain, it gives +1 to your ward save. That's just a typical BTP house rule that they usually run with. So if we're playing in the studio as we are, we will use that rule. And yeah, that's the entire board. So we'll go ahead and, once you grab a die, and we'll roll to see who.
I'm gonna open it the right way this time.
We're just going to be on our own table size. We're not going to do a roll for table side choosing, but we will roll to see who has the option of deploying first. So I rolled a 4, and Tara rolled a 1. So in this case, I have to look at numbers of units here. So I can see over in the High Elf army, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 units to place, then War Machine, and then characters. And I have 3 units. So basically, I can go second and still get a +1 to my roll to go first. So I will go second. So Tara, you get to deploy the first unit.
Yay. Give me a second.
Okay. All right, Tara, what's your plan here?
So this is my game plan here. So I'm gonna start with this set here.
That unit of Illyrian Reavers.
Yeah. So.
Which have been given bows in addition to their spears, so
yes,
they'll work good for harassment and be able to fight.
Yes.
So they're going to go here on the left flank.
Left. And then.
And you do get to go up to 12 inches forward if you want. You can grab your
my nifty
blue table painting tape measure.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go all the way up to there.
All right. So she's got this plan. So what you kind of explained your overall plan. What is it?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, show us the hand motion.
There were some hand motions.
Show us what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna put my other set of these lovely Illyrian Reavers on this side, so we can,
kind of do a pincer maneuver.
Yeah.
She's going for the pincer.
I don't even know what that means, but
a pincer maneuver. It's where you
do that.
You do that, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm doing.
You hit the flanks,
Yeah.
All right, so
that's my plan.
That's her first unit. So now I can go ahead and see what I want. All right, so I've put my first unit of 9 ogres here, just kind of central-ish, kind of create like a start of a battle line. Like I'm just gonna say, I deny the fact that you think you're gonna charge me. That's what I'm saying. So you go ahead and do your next
I'm just gonna do this
thing.
other.
Yeah, might as well, since you already told me you're gonna do it, and
don't take advantage of the fact that I'm a beginner, John.
Wouldn't do that.
I'm just kidding. John's a good teacher. He helps me in a great way.
Alright, so there's the other Reavers. Now you gotta think here that I'm gonna have 2 more units of stuff somewhere, so you have plenty of flank and lots of mobility to maybe, and you can, like, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you can you can walk right through this. This kind of taller stuff is a little more impassable, but like you can go right through that without any dangerous sort of terrain or anything like that. So, and this counts as like an easy hill, so you could be partially up on that if you'd like, and you can go up and down it without any penalties or anything like that.
Like that way, like this.
Okay, so she's gonna be angled in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
All right. So then I think I know what I'm going to do next. All right, second unit of ogres is going right here on the other side of this here foresty stump bit, just to kind of continue the ogre battle line. So now Tara's placed down her third unit, which is the Phoenix Guard, which she's putting right at the edge of her 12-inch deployment, and that unit will fill in right there.
Yep.
So the last thing I have to do is the Mournfangs, so go ahead and put them down. I'm thinking I'm going to put them over here somewhere as like as my flank unit, be like, hey, deal with this, Tara. And then I just want to be sure that they are inside the 12 inches, which looks like they are. So go ahead and put down the last thing you have, which is the Sky Cutter. So what to do with the Sky Cutter?
Yeah. I have to think about this one too.
Alright, so the Sky Cutter has gone down right there. It's got the bolt thrower on it, so it'll be able to, and it can move and shoot that as a chariot. So now you'll go ahead and place your War Machine. You can place it. What I would do, personally, is when War Machine's on hills is really good because they can see over things, so you probably want to put it over there on a hill or over there on a hill. It's going to have enough range to reach pretty much anything on the board for at least the first few turns. So either one.
I think I like it on this side.
She likes it on that side.
Yeah.
Well, you might want to think about it. This is my fastest moving thing that can get to it and get rid of it. So you might want to put it over there.
I'm going to put it on this side.
So
I
that
like this side.
so that it can't be gotten to as easily. And I mean, if your 12-inch deployment comes like right across
Right
here,
there,
so we can
yeah.
probably sit it down right there. If you sit it down touching the terrain pieces, then you'll get a ward save against anything that comes after it.
Well, is that an okay thing?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's where it's going.
All right, so it's going to sit right there.
Yeah.
So now we'll place characters. So go ahead and do that. So you know what we never did, Tara?
What?
You know.
We never rolled for spells.
Alright, so what lore are you rolling on?
The High Elf thing? I don't know. What are you talking about? I've never used magic before, everybody, so...
So, yes, the High Elf thing. I'm sure
the lore
our
of the
dear
High
friend
Elf.
Tara is referring to the lore of High Magic.
That one.
So you have a level 4 wizard, so when you select spells, you roll the amount of dice equal to the level, and then you get the numbered spell based on what the die roll was.
Okay.
If you get doubles, then you can choose, as opposed to the double, and you can always switch out a spell for the signature spell. In the case of High Elves, there's 2 signature spells in the lore of High Magic, so you can do 2 if you want to.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and roll. And
Can I roll them all at the same time?
You have to roll them all at the same time.
I have to roll them all.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter in this case.
Okay.
It matters in 40k, but not here.
Okay.
So you rolled 2 2s, a 5, and a 6. All right, what spells did you get, Tara?
I got Fiery Convocation.
And what does that do?
It
Go ahead and read it.
remains in play. Fiery Convocation is a direct damage spell with a range of 24 inches. Every model in the target unit takes a strength 4 hit with the flaming attack special rule. At the end of every subsequent magic phase, every model in the target unit suffers a strength 4 hit with the flaming attack special rule.
Okay, so that one's good for multiple reasons. One, because ogres have a spell that gives them a regeneration save, but with flaming attacks remove regeneration save. So you're going to want to probably keep that one. That's a good one.
Okay.
All right, so what else did you get? Number 5?
Yeah, Arcane Unforging.
Okay, what does that do?
Arcane Unforging is a direct damage spell with a range of 24 inches that targets a single enemy model, even a character in a unit. The target suffers a single wound on a dice roll greater than or equal to the model's unmodified armor save. Models without an armor save cannot be wounded. No armor saves are permitted against a wound caused by this spell. The owning player must then reveal to the caster all the magic items possessed by the target, if any. If the target has one or more magic items, randomly select one of them. That item is immediately destroyed on the roll of a 2+ and cannot be used for the rest of the game. Note that this spell has no effect on magic items that are mounts, magic items that contain bound spells that have miscast during the game, and any magic items labeled as one use only that have already been used during the game. Do not include these when randomly selecting a magic item.
Okay. Do you want to keep that?
I don't know. I need to reprocess everything I just read.
Basically, it's really good against things that have
Magic.
Magic items for one, but it's best against things that have very good armor saves. Because
you have very good armor saves?
I think the best armor save is a 4-up in mine. So basically, because you have to roll equal to or higher than their armor save. So if I had models that had 2+ armor saves, then you could roll that easily. 4-up is about a 50%. Most of my stuff has 5 or 6. Actually, the Mournfangs have really like a good armor save. They're a 2+ armor save. But you're going to want to use that against like the characters.
Yeah.
So it says no armor saves are allowed against wounds caused by it?
No armor saves are permitted against a wound caused by the spell.
I mean, my characters have ward saves, which could negate that. I don't know. It's really up to you. It's best at targeting characters with good armor saves, because that's what it sounds like.
What? I'm a little confused, and this is going to happen a lot during this. Just be prepared, people. So if I don't want it, what happens?
Then you can switch it out for one of the signature spells.
Oh, which are these first?
Yeah, so it's Soul Quench and Drain Magic.
Yeah.
Which Soul Quench seemed pretty good from what I read. It's like a magic missile.
It's a magic missile with a range of 18 inches that causes 2d6 strength 4 hits. The caster can choose for this spell to instead inflict 4d6 strength 4 hits.
By upping the value to what, 16+?
Yeah.
So pretty good damage spell. Or there's the Drain Magic, which lets you remove remains in play spells from things. And what else does it do?
Drain Magic can be cast on any unit, friend or foe, and has a range of 18 inches. If the target is a friendly unit, Drain Magic is an augment spell. If the target is an enemy unit, Drain Magic is a hex spell. In either case, all remains in play spells affecting the target unit are immediately dispelled, and the effects of all other spells on the target unit immediately come to an end. The wizard can choose to have the spell target all units within a if he does that, the casting value is increased.
So you can choose to do that, or you can...
I think I'm going to take a signature spell.
Alright, which one?
I think I want the Soul Quench.
Soul Quench, okay.
Yeah.
So that's your 5 and your 6. They're done. So we can with those. So now you got 2 2s. So what's spell number 2?
It is Hand of Glory.
Okay. What does that do?
That is an augment spell with a range of 18 inches. The target unit's weapon skill, ballistic skill, initiative, or movement, you choose which, is increased by D3 until the start of the caster's next magic phase. The wizard can choose to cast a more powerful version of the spell that instead increases all 4 characteristics. Don't roll a separate D3 for each. Make one roll and apply it to all 4 characteristics. If he does so, the casting value is increased to 10.
Okay, that sounds really good.
That does.
So we want that. So now, since you rolled a double 2, you get to choose which of the last spells you want. So you can go ahead and read all this, the rest of the spells.
Wait, I can choose between any of the last remaining.
Any of the spells that you don't already have. So
technically, I could use my other signature spell.
You could if you want to.
If I want to, or I can choose any of the.
I'd say use your last signature spell as your last resort because it's probably a better spell in there.
Okay.
So go ahead and take the time to read the rest of the spells. Okay.
Oh, did that record?
No, I just turned it on.
Sorry.
It's all right. So what are you gonna do?
For my, I get to choose whichever spell thing that we were just talking about. I think I'm just going to do the Drain Magic, which is the other signature spell.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and roll my spells here. So I'll grab 4 dice for my level 4 wizard. And I got 1, 3, 4, and 6. So for me that means, go over here. So I got Bone Crusher, I'm not an orc, Tooth Cracker, Brain Gobbler, and the Maw. So I think what I'm going to do is switch out Brain Gobbler for Spine Marrow, the signature spell, because I'm not convinced that trying to make High Elves take a panic test is going to do anything, because they probably have pretty good leadership, and it's not a negative in any way. So, yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Fun stuff.
So, you read off all what your spells do, so I'll go ahead and do mine real quick.
That'd be nice.
So, Spine Marrow is an augment with a range of 12 inches. The target has the Stubborn special rule until the start of the caster's next magic phase. Then Bone Crusher is a magic missile. This 2d6 strength 2 hits with no armor saves allowed. Then 3 is Tooth Cracker. Target unit has +1 toughness until the start of the caster's next magic phase. And the Maw is a direct damage spell. I place a small round template anywhere within 18 inches of the caster. Roll the artillery dice and the scatter dice. And unless a hit is rolled, move the template to distance shown on the artillery dice in the direction of the scatter dice. So then if the misfire, then the opposing player picks up the template and repositions it anywhere on the battlefield. And they're rolled again to pick a new target. Then you re-roll any misfires until misfire is not rolled. Once the final position of the template is determined, all models under the template must take an initiative test. Models that pass the test suffer a strength 3 hit from the Maw's sharp teeth as they scrabble clear. Models that fail the test are savaged by the Maw and suffer a strength 7 hit with the multiple wounds D6 special rule. The Maw then closes, and blah blah blah. So, that's my spells. So, we have our spells, everything's deployed. So now it's time to roll to see who goes first. I finished deploying first, so I have a +1 to my roll.
Okay.
So here we go. So I rolled a 2, Tara rolled a 1. So I'll go first.
Okay.
Actually, do I want to go first? Let me find out. The move of the Illyrian Reavers is what, 8?
It is...
Studio High Elves.
Do I look at the steed or the actual reavers?
The steed.
9.
9. Okay, so they can go 9. We're 24 inches apart. If I move up 12, that puts us 12 inches apart, and then they can charge me. That's lame. I don't like that. You go first.
I'll go first.
Tara's gonna go first. Alright. So
yeah.
she's gonna go ahead and figure out how she wants to move, and then we'll be back for magic phase. All right, Tara, what'd you do?
I moved.
Where?
So I basically just moved everything forward.
Okay.
I marched my Phoenix Guard. I didn't march these guys because they have bows.
She wants to shoot.
And I want to shoot.
Okay.
And this I kind of moved a little bit at an angle.
Well, luckily, since flying units always come with the skirmisher rule,
I didn't have to wheel or anything.
Yeah,
so that was
just kind of went.
What I did.
Yeah. And so now it's Winds of Magic time.
Which I've never done before,
okay,
so John gets to explain.
I will explain Winds of Magic. The start of a magic phase, the person whose turn it is will take 2 dice and roll them. Then you'll get the total of those dice, and I'll get the higher of the 2 dice.
Okay. I've played against it, but I've never...
So here's the Winds of Magic roll, and that's a 9, which is good. That means she'll get 9, and I'll get 5, and that means she has 4 more dice than I do. So I'll put my 5 dice out here, and then I will roll to channel with my 1 wizard, and you can do the same. So my channeling roll, I don't channel.
Wait, I have to roll again?
You roll 1 die for each wizard to see if you channel, but you don't because you rolled a 2.
Okay.
On a 6, you get an extra die to your pool.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, so now you get to decide what spells you want to cast.
Oh, okay. I get to do that.
Yep.
Give me another second.
Okay. Alright, what you doing?
I think I want to try and cast my Fiery Convocation spell.
Okay.
So, again, I've never used magic, so peeps have to...
Why are you going to that section?
I don't know.
Okay, so you look at the spell there.
On 19 plus, or 19 up, whatever the technical
and
is.
So, since you have a level 4 wizard, you'll add 4 to whatever you roll on the dice, plus she has the blessing of whatever, the High Elf rule, that gives her an additional +1 to her casting attempt. So you essentially need a 14 at least.
Okay. So how do I roll all of these?
No, you choose up to 6 to roll.
6 to roll, and I have to roll 14.
And if you roll any double 6s, it's a miscast.
Well, that's lame.
Yeah. Well, it goes off with irresistible force as well.
Okay.
So theoretically, you should want to roll at least 4 dice because
that's what I'm thinking.
Because that'll be an average of 14 on 4
I'm
four
gonna
dice.
try 4.
She's trying 4 dice, all right?
Yeah.
So here comes the roll, and she rolled 11, 14, 16 plus 5, 21.
Okay.
So I really don't like that spell. So I'm just gonna do the thing that I like to do, which is I have a Dispel Scroll, so I'm going to use it early and often. So my Dispel Scroll says goodbye to that spell. So now it's 5 dice to 5 dice.
Okay.
So what's next?
I'm possibly going to do my Soul Quench. I'm just rereading everything really fast.
Okay. What's the range on Soul Quench?
18 inches.
18 inches. Alright, so you're probably plenty close. Should be about 14 inches away from most things.
Yeah.
Right now, because of we started the 12-inch line and then she moved up 10 inches.
I think I'm going to do Soul Quench.
Alright, so here comes the Soul Quench then.
On 8 plus.
8 or better, alright. Isn't there a bigger version? Do you want to try that, or?
The casting value was increased to 16.
So it means you need to roll an 11. Because you get plus 5. So, and it's 4 dice 6, strength 4 hits, right?
Yes.
So, theoretically, 11 is slightly above average on 3 dice.
So I'd want to do 4.
Probably, which would leave you with 1, but with a plus 5, you can do something lesser. How much for Hand of Glory?
Hand of Glory. Oh, that's 5 up.
So, there you go.
Okay, I'm going to do Soul Quench.
Soul Quench on 4 dice?
Yes.
Alright. So you rolled 14 on the dice, so that means you've got a 19.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to take 46 strength 4 hits, so I'm going to try and make that go away with all 5 of my dice. Which I rolled 11, 17, 21 on my dice, plus I get 4 for my wizard. So that spell goes away. So now you basically get your free Hand of Glory spell.
Okay, this casts.
Oh. You rolled a 6.
Is that going to count?
Yeah, you rolled a 6.
Okay.
And I can't do anything about it anyway, so it goes off. So now you get to increase 1 unit within
18 inches.
So you could use, and what's the different things
the target
they do?
unit's weapon skill, ballistic skill, initiative, or movement is increased.
Okay. So I'd say at this point, I don't know if what do you think? What do you think about that? What would you do with that?
I don't know. I'm possibly weapon skill.
Weapon skill isn't really going to help you much.
Because I'm not going to be really...
Because your chances are, I mean, you might not end up in combat.
That's true.
Ballistic skill is going to help you immediately because you'll be shooting.
Range, that's a good point.
So you can increase
I think
ballistic skill.
I'm going to increase my ballistic skill by D3 until the start.
Okay, and you have to choose 1 unit, correct?
Yes.
So what unit do you want to do it on?
This one.
On this unit of Valyrian Reavers.
Yes.
Okay. So now roll a D3.
I'm just going to roll this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna move
And we'll see
these.
how much the ballistic skill goes up by. So you rolled a 5, so it's going to go up by 3. So that's really good. So what's their starting ballistic skill?
Their starting ballistic skill is 4, and the Harbinger is 5.
So their now ballistic skill 7 and 8 for their champion.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Until the caster's next magic phase.
Yep. So now we'll go ahead and do some shooting.
Okay.
All right.
So shooting time.
So what would you like to shoot with?
Well,
first. At where?
Huh?
First at where?
I think I'm gonna start with this lovely unit.
Okay, and what are they shooting at?
This lovely
These ogres? Okay.
unit.
So go ahead and measure your range. Bows have a range of 24 inches. So that means anything over 12 inches is considered long range.
Which they are.
So they're at long range, but that's alright. They'll get to shoot. We'll get to shoot their 10 shots. So roll 9 first, because then the Harbinger has his own thing.
2,
So
4, 6, 8,
so she's got 9 bow shots to start,
9.
and now she starts at ballistic skill 4, which means you would need a 3, but at long range it's -1, so you need a 4, and at moving and shooting it's minus another 1, so you need 5s to hit.
Okay.
So she rolled she rolled over 50% 5s.
Yeah, I got 5. 5.
That's just not right.
Yay.
So now go ahead and roll the master. He'll need a 4 or better because he has 1 higher ballistic skill.
I'm gonna come over this way with that one.
So that one hits as well on another 5. It's a kind of a glare coming out of the trade stock room window, but that's a 5. So we have 6 hits total out of 10. So over 50% on 5 or 6 to hit. That makes sense. So now you go ahead and roll these. They're strength 3. Bows are strength 3. And the toughness of the ogres is 4. So what do you need to wound?
4s?
You have a chart, remember?
Dang it, I have a chart. This is the thing that I have the most problem with.
The numbers.
Straight 3. I need 5s.
Tara needs 5s to wound the ogres.
I'm going to use the spiffy chart
The
instead
spiffy
of try and memorize it.
Yeah. So here comes. She needs 5s. She rolls 2 out of 4, which is exactly average. So now ogres have light armor, and I have iron fist, so I'll have 5-up saves. So I rolled 1 of those saves as successful and 1 as failed. But I am touching the terrain, and by BTP rules, I now get a 6-up ward save as well. But I failed anyway. So an ogre takes a wound, which I will use the nifty skull dice to denote that one ogre here has taken a wound. Alright, so
Yay.
that's that unit.
That's that unit.
So what's next?
I'm going to come over to this
Alright,
one.
so who are they going to shoot at?
They're going to shoot at possibly the Morn thing.
All right, well, you're allowed to pre-measure, so you can go ahead and see what's in range.
The range is 18.
And technically, I mean, theoretically they have an arc, but you should be in plenty within the arc without it being a problem. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna shoot the Mornfangs?
Yeah.
Okay. So you start with, so you'll have 9 attacks. Okay. They have +3 to their ballistic skill, so their ballistic skill 7. So let's go ahead and look over here at the ballistic skill chart here. So right here with the shooting, if that ballistic skill 7, they need a 0 to hit. So then they moved and shot, so -1 to that, they need 1s. And they're at long range, so they need 2 or better to hit.
Alright.
And the champion guy will need a 1 or better, which we'll explain in a second.
Okay, let me make sure I only have 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay.
Here's 9. So, looks like they all hit. So that's 100% hits there. So now you can roll the master. So now, since he needs a 1 to hit, if he rolls a 1, then he gets to re-roll it and needs I think it's a 4 or better to hit.
Okay.
Because you can't ever just automatically hit. But he hit on a 5 anyway, so that's 10 hits. So now, what do you need to wound again? Strength 3 versus toughness 4.
I need 5s or better.
All right, so go ahead and roll those dice, and we'll see how many wounds Tara can do with Illyrian Reaver bows. So it looks like
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 out of 10. That's not too bad. Could have been 1 more, I think. So 4 wounds. So my ogres will make their saves. Now these are Mornfangs, so they have 2 up armor saves because they're mounted on the Mornfang, have heavy armor and an Iron Fist. Whoops. So in this case, I failed 1, unfortunately. So 1 Mornfang is going to take a wound. Not too bad for bow shooting.
I'm okay with it.
Tara allows it.
Yeah, Tara allows it.
Alright, so you still have your bolt throwers to shoot.
What's the range on those again?
That one's 48. And I think that one might be 36. I don't know.
Let me see. Was that
well, go ahead and do the one we know. Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much I should be able to get.
Well, go ahead and measure and see what you can hit. Probably most of the things on the board.
I don't know. I kind of want to go for those mean old Morn things.
Well, see if you're in range. And I mean, you got to think the way a bolt thrower works is it shoots and then it goes down the ranks. So it'll hit a guy and then hit a guy and hit a guy, and it'll start at strength 8 or 7 or something like that. And then every rank it goes back, it goes down a strength. So if you shoot that this way, you'll only be able to hit 1 guy.
No.
You'll probably be able to kill him outright because it does like D3 wounds, and I'm pretty sure it ignores armor saves. But it's worth noting that you'd only be able to kill 1 because of the angle. Whereas if you were to shoot at these guys, it would go through. It would draw a line through 3 of them.
I like that idea better.
Okay.
Going for them, which 48 inches I will measure, but pretty sure I'm.
That's why you measuring 24. Oh, Tara.
Shh. I might have been looking at the centimeters.
Hold on, just listen. And guess what that was.
I'm blind, just remember that. Yeah, I'm like well within, the 48, because I'm at like 3 feet right now.
Yeah, so there's the range, perfectly good. So what's their ballistic skill's probably 4? Check it for me.
Let me check
Rare.
it. Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. Yeah, 4.
Okay, so hold on. All right, so we looked up the whole High Elf bolt throwers can fire as a repeater bolt thrower or as a normal bolt thrower, and we mathed it out. The math says that firing as a normal bolt thrower is better because it's 2 out of 3 chance that it'll hit, and then it'll wound out of 2 against the first ogre, and then at D3 wounds, I guess technically on a D3 the average is 2.
Yeah.
So that's 2 wounds, ignoring armor saves. So it won't kill him and it won't get through. But then if you fire as a repeater, 2 out of 3 hit, which is out of the 6 shots, 4 will hit, and then on the strength 4, toughness 4, 2 will wound, and chances are I won't make the armor save or the ward save graded by the terrain. So either way, there's a higher chance of like lucky success by firing the normal bolt thrower, but the average on both counts is 2 wounds. So
yes,
I'd say
so we're just gonna
go for the single shot. Personally,
all right,
maybe I'm wrong, but
here it goes.
okay. So a 3 is actually going to miss because your ballistic skill 4, which normally means you need a 3, but your long range, because all the normal to hit modifiers apply, so you would have needed a 4. So the bolt thrower there misses, but you do have this bolt thrower here.
This one.
So how does that one work? I don't know how this one works.
Yeah.
So then you need the Northern Sky Cutter.
Yeah, and I just had it, and then I was flipping through
Man,
stuff.
Ren did a pretty good job on these.
Yeah.
That eagle looks pretty fantastic. So
Okay.
remember, this will be up on the web store July 15th. That's
Next week.
yeah, it's Monday, I think.
Yes.
And you can check the liner notes for details on this beautiful High Elf army done up by Ren.
By Ren.
So what's its bolt thrower's profile? Is it there at the end?
Range 24, strength 5, special rolls, multiple wounds.
D3?
Yeah.
Okay. And does it have ignore armor save?
Armor saves are not permitted against wounds caused by an evil eye bolt thrower.
Okay. So that's like a normal bolt thrower, except that it's half the range and 1 less strength at the start. So what are you going to go ahead and fire that at? This unit here?
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll measure your range, because if you're anything outside 12 inches, it's long range. And it moved and fires. But I don't... Does it say if it ignores that, because it's like a chariot? That might be under chariot rules as opposed to in the book. I might have to look that up.
It says troop type chariot, armor saves 4 plus.
Okay. So we'll have to go ahead and look up the rules for chariots to see if they suffer move and fire penalties.
Like
But he's at 16 inches. So you're in range. It's just a matter of if you're -2 to hit or -1. So we're going to go ahead and look. All right. So go ahead.
So we couldn't find anything that said that they ignored that rule. So we're going to assume that they don't.
So the normal ballistic skill is probably 4.
My goodness, I should be.
It should say it right there. Under the little profile thing there.
Yes.
Okay, so that means you normally need a 3 to hit, but having moved and being at long range, you need a 5.
Let's see what happens.
4,
No.
so just shy,
Just barely.
unfortunately. So no luck from the bolt throwers in the first round here.
That's okay.
But yeah, that's all right. So you've moved, you've done magic, you've shot.
That's about all I can do.
That's High Elves turn 1.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to Ogres turn 1 now.